Hi, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're looking at MHG chisels. One of my evening class students, James, has been looking into buying some good value, good quality chisels, and he's found MHG. We're going to look at each one, see what he likes, see what I like, and just discuss what are the benefits of some of the parts, some of the way these chisels are made. I hope you enjoy the video. Cheers.
A taste for each of the main offerings, really. They do firmer chisels as well, but what we've got here
Gordon Bennett.
Are their two standards. One in an ash handle, slightly different finish to the blade, and then we've got one of the mortise chisels here.
Right, that is huge.
It is, isn't it?
That is
something
massive.
you keep under your bed in case of a break-in.
Okay, so MHG. So right, what have we got? We've got a.
So that's hornbeam.
It is hornbeam, same as that.
Here, yep.
So that looks a little bit dented and knocked around, doesn't it?
It is. It's not the most the
finish isn't
sort of,
no. This is more. This is better finished. It's got a nice finish.
Much
on
nicer.
It.
Yeah.
These are pressed.
Yes.
So they're pressed ferrule and hoop, usually called. Got a bit of leather in there. Nice.
Yep.
That's good, isn't it?
It's nice.
That's big. That's good.
It's meaty. There's a real bit.
And it's MHG, which you found. Where did you buy them from?
Well, I was looking at. I think it might have. Yeah. So Fine Tools. I think it's fine-tools.de.
Oh, okay, Germany.
And you can. If you don't live in the UK, you are able to buy these directly from the seller via their website, but they don't ship to the UK. But Fine Tools do. Right. Customer service was fantastic. I was waiting for some to come in stock so I could get these to sample, and yeah, they let me know as soon as they were. And yeah, I think in terms of...
So let me just go through, have a look at this one first, because we're still on this one. I'm looking at the grinding on here, so you can see the diameter of the grind there. So those would sort of need to be cleaned up a bit, but it's the same wheel on the sides, on the bevel, on the front. Okay, so that's the same all the way through. This is your ash handle.
Yeah, so these are both the standard ones, quote unquote, but the ash one is what they call premium. Right. And I think...
So as far as premium goes, the handle's going to cost them more money because it's a thicker set handle.
Yes.
So that's going to cost... That's light, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's light. Oh, they're both nice and light. Okay, but you can see that the handle size, how different they are.
Yes.
That's more polished.
It is. So they polish it and then re-flatten or regrind the face, so it's not rounded over. And they do a couple of different finishes I've seen only with the premium ones, where they will grind the bevels down to the face, so you can get a really clean, nice...
For a dovetail?
Yeah, for your dovetails. By and large, they seem, between the premium and this standard one with the hornbeam, seems to be pretty identical, apart from the premium polished over.
I don't know which one. Mind you, if they're polishing that over and they're taking a bit more off the bevel there, off the side, I would call it. I'd probably prefer that. And actually, the handle's nice. So it's going to come down to... And is there much difference in price, really?
Very little, I'd say. I think it was about... At the lower end with these was maybe €1 or €2, and then again €1 more if you wanted it ground down, maybe €4 or €5.
So what is it? That's comfortable.
It's nice, isn't it? I really like these narrower hornbeam ones.
Do you?
I thought I'd prefer the ash with the wider handle. I typically like things that are a bit chunkier because I've got bigger hands, but I really like those. And I think...
You know what I like? Sorry to interrupt. You know what I like? I like the little flat on the bottom of there so that it can't roll.
Exactly. It's a pretty easy,
I think,
easily introduced thing, isn't it?
You know, that could, if it wanted to.
Yeah.
But... and that could, but that flat is worth a bit, that little flat there.
But it feels nice on the thumb as well, I find. And obviously, you know, if you're going to be choking up a little bit further towards
you'd get used to whichever one you were going to use.
You
know what? I like that at first, and now I'm handling it, and I'm actually thinking it's too big.
Yeah, that's
Let
what
me
I
just-
thought I'd prefer it.
Let me just try a normal chisel by it. Oh, I say a normal chisel. Let's just try a Marples chisel. So, yeah, this is quite bellied here, isn't it?
It is.
And that's
Quite rotund at
and that's a big handle, really, for the period. That was great. But I think that might be too big.
Yeah, I went in expecting to prefer that. In actual fact, you know, if I could have the best of both worlds, where it would be the polished top and rear grain bottom with the hornbeam, and you can rehandle these. You can buy the handles from MHG, the retailer. Fine Tools, I don't think offer the handles by themselves, but maybe if you got in touch with them, they could help you out. But the little odyssey I went down, you can see here actually they're missing the M from. I'm not sure they've
yeah.
put
I looked at that and thought, what's going on?
the odyssey I went on with these really was just looking at affordable chisels that were a decent quality, but I wouldn't be too afraid to knock around a little bit. Wouldn't be too precious about, right? And I think the misconception of a lot of people, they're very similar to Paul Sellers' famous Aldi chisels.
Right, okay.
I think it was Workzone and something else.
Yeah.
And they're German made.
Yeah.
And at a glance, look very similar to these standards.
Do they?
And I saw, doing a bit of Google foo, found an article where Paul Sellers incorrectly thought these MHG chisels were the people who made the Aldi ones. But buried deep in the comments was a reply from MHG saying, you know, we've never actually dealt with Aldi and or Lidl. They're interchangeable in my mind.
Yeah.
Not sure which is which. But so it turns out MHG are just their own thing. I imagine the method for the Germans like their steel might be similar. But yeah, and I do like with the premium one though how this is sort of brought down a little bit. Like,
yes, it is. It is nice, isn't it? That's had more attention on the back. You can look at the grind marks on here, and they're just not existent on here. They're much finer.
It is. Absolutely.
So that shows up really well. Look at the colours going on down here. I'd go with that one.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
I'd go with that one.
That's the plan.
You know, you might have a bit of work on the back, but the handle really is everything. And so the thing that I would say with that though is if you're in your advancing years and you've got problems gripping, that's the one to go for.
Yes. And the ash being a coarser grain as well, and I think gets coarser as time goes on, you know, it might help you with that. Yeah. What's your opinion on these hoops? How useful are they? How much do they actually help, do you think?
A little.
Yeah.
Would they have been better off just rounding it off and not bothering? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. There's not much. I mean, if you want a chisel and you want to beat it up with a lump hammer, then buy a plastic split-proof handle one.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas really, they could have. I can see what they're doing. This is a manufacturing thing. If you could look at the ends here, you can see where they've been turned on the lathe. So to actually finish them on a lathe, to fit with a square shoulder there, and not have to part it off at all down here and just slide that on, ease of manufacture.
Yeah.
Less work.
Got you. I hear you.
Less work, that's all it is. So that's why they've done it. You know what? If it bothered you, you could almost take that off and round it off yourself.
That's it. I've seen people.
It's just finishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get it.
I think on that same Paul Sellers article, I think he does remove his hoops and sort of round them off.
Does he?
Yeah, but maybe that's something, if I wanted to do one day, I could consider, but I'm not too fussed. They're not.
You know what? To pull that off wouldn't be bad. To cut it about 1/8 of an inch up and then file it round. Yeah. If you were using that all day, every day, it would get on your nerves.
Yeah.
If you're gripping it down here, if you're down here and you're choking it and you're doing all sorts down here, then that's fine.
Sure.
I'm not. For me, a hooped. That's where a hoop should be.
Yeah,
on something that's you're going to strike, and your hand isn't going to be there. If you're pushing this chisel in and you're holding it like that and you're working in and it's in the palm of your hand, it might get on your nerves after a bit.
Ergonomics are going to be lacking that end, aren't they? I suppose
you'll have a blister to show for your effort.
But you know, I think for these, obviously the larger the size, the more steel, so the more expensive. But why I wanted to get these, one, it seemed to be a great bang for your buck steel. That German-made Chrome Vanadium they're fond of.
Are these about €10 each? These
thereabouts, yeah. Fluctuates according to whether you want the standard or quote unquote premium. Or...
So what's that in pounds at the moment?
Oh crikey!
So what's? Can you say the difference in the?
Let's have a look. I'll find you the.
Okay.
So at present, €10 at the time of shooting this. So 25th of Jan, 23. €10 is about £8.80. Pound sterling, and you know, if we're going from, so what we got, these are the 12mm, aren't they? So the €10.83 for the one, and the premium one actually is €14.52. So €14.52 and €10.83.
So you're paying another £4 or so.
Yeah,
for that handle.
About, so just about,
and the polish.
Say about €4. So yeah, you're paying another few quid. And for the difference, maybe if you just fell in love with this ergonomically, maybe that'd be worth it. Because again, like you say, using it for long hours. But I think the beauty of them as well, like you're saying, if I decided one day to take the hoops off, because I've only spent €10, I'm not going to be too precious about them. I'll be a bit braver, a bit bolder. Whereas if I had something from, say, I don't know, Ashley Isles, or I'm going to be very hesitant, especially as a novice, to be taking my hands to them. But
what's that in there?
I think that's adhesive. I think I did have a brief look because it's coming away. I think, you know, maybe how some off gas and leave a bit of a film.
I think it's dust.
Oh, dust. Oh, maybe from the lathe, maybe.
Might be just dust.
Yeah. I think you're right. I thought it was like, you know, a super glue. Say an acrylite dries.
Very good. MHG then. They look great. We'll have to see what they're like when they're polished up and sharpened and used. So which one are you keeping? That one?
I think I'm going to stick with these standards.
And did you say you're keeping that as well?
And I'm definitely going to have the
that's huge.
mortise ones. Have
you got a use for that already?
Yes. So at my college, a lot of it is 5x3 and rule of thirds and stuff. I won't need to go any higher than a 10 at the moment. I'd probably eventually get a 12. Nice to have the half inch, right? But at present I've got a 6, 8, 10 in these, and I've got a 12 in that and a 12 in that, because I wanted to see which took my fancy the most.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Very good. Well done. If you enjoy my channel and what I do, you can donate and support the channel. If you scroll down, go to the thanks button, which is just there, hit that. You can choose to donate £2, £5, 10 or £50, which helps me improve my channel. Cheers, guys.